Hey folks, hope you liked that last video, things that happened with 11 days missing. We've had a lot of questions asked about the crafts, what makes them tick, how do they fly. I'm going to share something with you that took place in 2016 that my sister Margaret has shared also. It was about 7:28 in the evening, about this time in 2016. I had one of my students over, and he told me, and I quote, John said, "I feel something strange." I said, "Really?" I was sitting at my desk looking out across the open field that was behind my house, and suddenly I felt something very unique. I felt this before. Uh-oh. John was going into the living room or the kitchen to get him a drink. And about that time, a craft appeared right outside the window, broad open daylight. During this time, I happened to be on the phone with my sister, Margaret. And I suddenly lost contact. The phone just went just like that. I hollered for John. John come around, and I said, "Look out the window, look out the window." And that was, John just froze. It was, you know, he had never seen one. I had told him what they looked like. I got on my other phone and I called, never thinking it was going to work, but I called Maggie. She instantly answered. I said, "Maggie, they're here. They're coming your way." And by the time I lost contact. So I thought, you know what? It'd be wise. Let me get a picture. And I took a couple pictures before the craft left. Within 20, 30 seconds, Maggie was outside, and I had told her to look to the east. They were coming. And she was looking around, but there was, it's broad open daylight now, too. She's looking toward the east, and there what appears to be the moon. I didn't have time to tell her what to be looking for. She looked around. About the 3-second mark of her picture, her phone was suddenly taken over by something. She didn't know this until days later when she reviewed it. Actually, her husband, Bernie, noticed it. You hear a couple clicks, and then the camera starts focusing. And I think it was at the 9, 10, or 11-second mark, you hear a voice talking to her. "I hope you'll be in the silent skies soon." Something to that effect. And she got a good picture of this craft. They came back and picked me up, and I was gone for several hours. It was good to get away for a while. John knew I was gone. He didn't know where I was at. He just knew I was gone. But he knew also I would be back. So John stayed at my apartment for several hours. He said it was about 6, 7 hours before he checked in the bedroom, and there I was, sound asleep. This is the way things happen. Now, if you look at the picture that I took outside my window, you'll see 2 lights. But I want to tell you something. Them 2 lights is one craft. The craft was in a cloaking device. It was in a cloaking mode that it uses. If it wants you to see it, it will appear complete. If it doesn't, you'll only sense it because it'll allow you to sense it. Our craft are actually living nanotechnology. We can make them any size we want. The mothership's the same design, only much, much larger. But the triangle crafts, we call them Varanas. The Varana means in the Sumerian and the Palladian languages the sacred blackbirds. We also have Varanas here that are known as the Zelia blackbirds. They are designed specifically for war and total destruction, whatever they come in contact with. Now that sound you hear in the background belongs to a General Electric CW 4400 locomotive. I love locomotives. It's music to my ears. Sorry, folks, I guess got off track. But anyway, I will let my sister Margaret tell you about her experience watching one of our crafts and them talking to her. Now, she thinks she is the first ever to have this happen to and record it. And I think she is. But anyway, here's my sister, Margaret.
Oh, lovely.
Tell them.
I didn't want to be on camera, guys.
Well, there's a lot of things we don't want to be. Don't worry about her hair. Go ahead, tell them about it.
I was talking to Eddie on Skype. I remember it like it happened yesterday. And Eddie said, "They're here." And I said, "Who's here?" He said, "They're here." I figured out who was here, and I said, "Get a picture." Because those of you that know me, I like evidence, and so a picture to me is evidence. Our communication dropped. He called me back, and he said, "They're heading your way. Go look to the east." The way my property is situated, I couldn't figure out which way east was. I know enough about things, and I don't know if it was, I was told to turn on my iPhone, my camera, but I knew enough to turn on my camera. And I mean, the video's posted, you guys can see it. I just started panning around. Of course, I'm looking for a Verona. I'm looking for a triangle, not an orb. What I saw, I saw the orb plain as day. I thought it was the moon coming up. Anyway, and I'm going to show you, I will turn the video camera and show you exactly where I was, the tree that I was standing at.
I'll move the camera. There's the tree. Hey, go ahead and tell.
Let's see if we're getting the tree. Yeah, see that? Looks like Christmas tree. It was right there.
All right, sit back down.
Anyway, I had went out there. I did hear a lot of birds. And I was I'll tell you, honestly, I feel like an idiot that I didn't focus on what I thought was the moon. But you know what? A lot of times with Veronas or crap, whatever you want to call them, they are not visible to the naked eye. But I also know that you can pick them up on your camera by taking pictures or on video. So that's why you see me panning around. Did that. Anyway, I thought, all right, I'll check the video later. I was laying in bed, checked the video, and I heard a voice. I couldn't make it out what it was. I sent it to a friend of mine. I'm heavily involved with metaphysical things, mediumship, healers. That's how I was brought up with this stuff. So I sent it to a friend of mine, and I said, please, can you understand what was said? He ran it through a program, called me back, and he went, oh my God. He said, what a wonderful voice. I said, I know, but what they say. And what they said to me is, I hope you're with me in the still skies, or still sky. Now, when I was videotaping, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything. Because if I would have heard them, I'm Scottish, and so I speak my mind. I would have said, no, I'm no bloody with you in the still skies. I'm standing here looking like an idiot. Filming. I tried to call Eddie. Eddie was sound asleep because he was gone. And I just said, okay, you know what? I'll talk to Eddie in the morning. And that was the first Verona craft I've ever seen. And I just think, what a privilege that, you know what, not only was I able to see it, film it, but they spoke to me. Yes, I do believe, and I asked somebody, I said, has there ever been anybody who has recorded them, angelic beings, or as us humans say, aliens, ETs, speaking to a human being? There isn't. I believe that is the first time in history.
Tell them
and I wasn't afraid.
Tell them
Let
who
me
was
tell
speaking
you,
to you.
Listen, this kind of stuff, it doesn't scare me. I think because of my background with mediumship and that, I've been prepared for what I'm doing today. My grandmother, I'm going to bring my grandmother up, because I sit here and I blame my grandmother. I'm like going, oh my God, what have you gotten me into? My grandmother was a very well-known medium in the UK, and I have a lot of my friends that follow my grandmother's Facebook page.
Tell them who your grandmother is. Helen Duncan.
Her name was Helen Duncan. She is the last person in the United Kingdom to be imprisoned under the Archaic Witchcraft Act of 1735. This happened in 1944. So I know what the government can do. My grandmother's mediumship, it cost her her life in 1956. So for the last 30 years of my life, I have gotten the government files open, done a lot of research, set up a foundation for her, and 2013, I was in the UK. She came through a medium, and I was given a message from, well, it was my grandmother, saying, you're going to find out where you came from. Now, I thought it had to do with her family, you know, our family genealogy. That is not what she meant. She meant, I'm going to find out where I come from. And I have the same blood type as Eddie. I come from the same place as Eddie. Although I am not one of the 33 golden angels. I think, yeah, I definitely know that this is what I'm predestined to do. And I think, I mean, we're going to see more and more crafts. Actually, there was a craft seen over in Paducah
Saturday.
On, was it Saturday?
It was Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was posted on our site.
It's posted on our site. One of our
subscribers.
Oh God, I can't. I'm terrible with names. But she sent it to me, and it was just absolutely, it was fantastic. So it is on the site. Anyway, I just, wanted to, is there anything else that you want to share about the craft?
Yeah. A lot of people want to know what makes them tick. They are propelled by what is commonly known by our people. It's a very exotic propulsion system. It's known as a hyperdrive pulse system. It runs off a type of element that is not found here on Earth, by the way. It's a beryllium crystal. The beryllium crystal gathers through the amplifiers energy that is abundant in space. It's called Aryan energy. It is electrical magnetic energy. It's everywhere. What it does, it brings it in. Like this is one of the vacuums. It'll bring in the energy. The energy goes through, comes into a little dome where the beryllium crystals are gathered. From there is a magnetic reaction that is amplified, and as it comes up, the amplifiers is the bright light you see. It is giving out a pulse drive of magnetics. This pushes the craft. You got to understand, the airframe on these vehicles are living entities. The cover on them is a living nanotype technology just beyond man's understanding. I could tell you all the schematics and the physics behind it, and I'd be pretty confident that the best of minds could not rush out and try to develop one. The Anakai, the saucers, run off a similar system, except it's electrical magnetics. It runs off also a mercury drive like ours. Ours runs off a mercury system that is involved with the beryllium crystals, but the mercury reacts as a lubricant, a cooling type system. It just enhances the amplification of the hyperdrive. It's quite complicated. I don't have none of my physics paper here to show you, and that's not the purpose of this video. It's just to tell you how it operates. They can actually bend light. They can actually travel at the speed of light. To travel from point A to point B, which man would say is 400 light years away, is irrelevant. It means it can go through the wormholes, which are, most people call them the dimensions. Okay, either what you call them, we call them wormholes. They're the travel waves out in space. Einstein was really close to the theory of relativity and bending of light. It is capable, it is feasible, and man could have this technology if he would change his ways. And it is sad man will not change his ways. Although this information was offered to the world governments back in 1957, 58, and 1960. But the big oil companies, the big greedy corporations saw that if we take this technology and give it to the world, then we're out of business. The hell with the rest of the world. We'll keep what we got going on. So we'll pollute the rivers, the oceans, and the air, and we'll line our bank accounts. I think that is a sad situation. Oh, change is coming, people. I've done said that 1,000 times. I'll probably say it another 1,000 times before it's over with. Change is coming. What you conceive as energy will no longer be nuclear, or it's any type of fossil fuel. It is coming to a head. The oceans will be purified. The air will be cleansed. The land will be restored. And the chosen ones, and I say chosen ones very openly and lovingly. And what did I mean by the chosen ones? Those who have heard my message. I did not come to judge, for there's somebody else that will do that. But I've came to save the world. I've came to offer peace and love to the chosen ones who have heard that word, and they shall inherit what? the new kingdom of God, the new Jerusalem. I've talked about this many times in the past. I will continue talking about it until that time comes for me to go back and stand before my Father in the grand council of elders and say, is man worthy? Who is worthy? Search your heart. I think you're worthy, no matter what color you are, no matter what you've done in your past. It doesn't matter to me. It's what you do in the future that is concerning to me. That is the purpose of these videos. I don't ask anybody to believe us, but here's a question you might want to ask yourself. Just what if this crazy old bastard is right? What if he's right? Oh my God, if he's right, and I don't accept what has been given to me, free people, free, I may not live to see the New Jerusalem. Of course now, there's a few out there that's trying to harp up on people to give me money. I have a PayPal account. I need a new camera session. Or there's others on TV that says, and God told me if I raise $54 million to buy this Learjet so I can preach the word of God all over the world. No. Let me tell you something. What have you done today for your people?
Can I?
Yeah.
We asked Daniel that question.
Would he ride a jet or ride a donkey?
Yeah, would he ride a jet or a donkey? And he said, I'll take the donkey. You know what? Yeah, listen, I joke with Eddie. I say, I don't remember ever signing this contract that I signed up for this, but obviously here I am. I've always believed in life outside of this planet. It's really, I think it is appalling that for 70-odd years, you know, people that came forth were ridiculed, said they were nuts. You know, I mean, the media just laughed. I think times, they are changing. I'll tell you. I became ill in 2005, and I can't sleep at night. So I listen to talk radio, and I listen to a lot of stuff about UFOs, and I just go, oh my God. Honestly, I just go, oh my God. When I met Eddie, I wanted to go meet the man. Didn't know who he was. I met with Eddie. I have seen the documents. And what I saw, was I upset? You better believe I was very, very upset. Very upset at how you, me, have been lied to. I saw documents that said Eddie is the Son of God. These are government documents. Like I said yesterday, does it scare me? Yeah, I have been very, very afraid. I joke with Eddie about it. But I also know that I've got to stand on my principles of what's right, what's wrong, and what's been done to you and to I and to our kids and grandkids is wrong. And I think it's time that it comes out. And I'm not going to wait for the government to do it. I'm going to do it. Eddie's going to do it. And I will tell you, people that know me know I have a very, very good reputation, that I am loving, that I am kind. I will give you the shirt off my back. If you're hungry, I will feed you. So, yeah, it's not, you know what, I was sitting, it's not a choice for me. I knew when I was speaking with Eddie, something in my soul went, he is for real. Now, he looks just like you and I. Him and I joke. I mean, we have a blast. We sit, and we just laugh. I'm always telling myself, oh my God, you're going to get me killed. He assures me I'm protected. I never realized how much faith, and I am not religious, guys. You know what? I don't read the Bible. Since I've known Eddie, I've learned a little bit about the Bible. But I've always believed in a supreme being, a God, whatever you want to call him, source, the one. I believe that, you know what, God is in all of us. And so, yes, I've got to do, I mean, and I only speak for myself. I got to do what I know is right. Yeah, I have to. It is definitely not a choice for me. And I do think, listen, not all government is bad. I think there is people within the government that do want disclosure, and so we're just helping them along. They know about Eddie. They studied him. I've seen the sessions. If you and I would have been put under the sessions that my brother was put under, we would have died. His heart rate, I remember one, it was 17 beats a minute. And I was like, oh my God, it's a miracle he didn't die. He's not a hybrid. Actually, his birth is similar to Jesus's birth.
Tell them what you learned about the Star of Bethlehem.
I don't remember, Eddie.
The Star of Bethlehem is told in the Bible. Well, I'm going to tell you something that's very wicked. Oh, so wicked, because this is what man tries to tell you.
Oh.
Jesus, in Revelations 2, I think it's in the first 5 or 6, 7, 8 chapters. It's in chapter 2. He says, I am the morning star. Well, if we go to the Bible again in the Old Testament, they call Lucifer the morning star. Does that make Jesus the devil then? No. So, they call me the morning star. Look at there, people. Gray hair. Gray hair. No horns. I don't carry a pitchfork. I don't have a tail. But I do have the keys to the fiery lake. You know where the fiery lake is. I call it the dragon. He is awake. He's ready to devour in due time. But back to the Star of Bethlehem. Well, for many, many millennia, the star, the morning star, was known as the planet Venus. So, that picture that Maggie took of the craft that come visit her looks like the moon. Could be the morning star. It just wasn't morning. It was in the evening. So, the morning star got sidetracked somehow. Don't know. But either way, the Star of Bethlehem was also the morning star. And Jesus was born of a virgin birth. Well, maybe, maybe not. I'm not here to change your religious views. I'm just here to change your thinking to what is fact and what is not fact. You are smart people. Weed it out. You know. I'm just pointing you to the facts and the direction to see these things. Because like my sister said, everybody has been lied to over the course of many, many centuries. It is man's teachings, not mine, nor hers. Now, on the facts of the Star of Bethlehem, Jesus, my brother, who spoke to her that evening in 2016, was the same one that was born of a very unique birth, just like the rest of us. It's the way our genetics, it's the way our society keeps life going. You remember what Jesus said? Ye must be born again. Well, guess what? This vessel, see that? This vessel that you call the body is only that, a vessel. It is what's sitting between your two eyes that matters the most. That is where the soul is captivated. So when this vessel ceases to exist, that soul goes right back to one of your guardian angels, and you are rejuvenated. Some call it reincarnation, some will call it the resurrection. We call it for what it is, rejuvenation. Rejuvenation. You are reborn. You may be reborn of a natural birth, and eventually you will remember your past lives. But then again, you may not. It depends on how your teachings as you're growing up in the new life that you've been blessed with. Life is a series of lessons. You do not die, people. You do not die. I will guarantee that. Guarantee that. You won't hear this on any TBN or any televangelist service. No, they're too busy advertising MasterCard, Discovery, and Visa. I'm here to tell you. My sister's here to tell you. We have lived before. Think. You have memories from the past. Think. Revisit the memories. And know that, wow, I was this person in this life. We do not die. And again, I will guarantee that. But anyway, I'll leave and let my sister close this out. I love you and thank you for all the wonderful blessings you send, not just to me, but all others. Help one another, for the days are ticking away. Told you about 2028. We only have about 10 years left. Less than 10 years. Think. Anyway, my sister will finish this out. Blessings to you.
You know, I'm going to talk about, I know we started off with the crafts, but I want to talk about Abaddon.
Go ahead.
Now, some of you have heard my voice on YouTube. You've never seen me. This is the first time. I'm actually a very shy person. I don't like to be on camera. I have done documentaries for my grandmother. I've done interviews. I was not planning on being on camera. You should have heard me. I was planning on being on, wasn't planning on being in front of you guys tonight, but they said, no, you got to be on. I'm like, no, I don't. I look like, don't look all that great, but you know, I read someplace about Abaddon. I think it was in the Christian, some Christian site, and it said the devil. You know, and when I'm the one that's responsible for getting the book, because I talked with Eddie on my front porch and his brothers, and I said, this story has to be told to the world. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I convinced a friend of mine, Jay, in the UK, to write the book. I didn't know I was going to become a secretary, but I did. Believe me, I have typed so many documents. Eddie is not the devil. I'll tell you, I mean, for a couple of years, I was like, oh my God, you know, he's known as the destroyer. He's going to destroy us. I mean, I did. I said, oh my God, he's going to destroy us. But after getting to know him, after spending countless hours, Eddie and I are in constant communication. Yeah, he's going to get rid of the evil. Because I mean, I've asked, well, can't we just take the evil ones out of here? Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I wish that it did. Because I'm like you. We want to live in a world full of love, peace, that, you know, your neighbors helping neighbors, talking, sharing, giving, being compassionate. That's not, well, I won't say that's not what we see, because there is those of us that do carry those traits with us. I look at what the final result will be, and that's why, yeah, there's going to be a cleansing of this earth. And I'm okay. I am really okay with it. And I don't like, listen, I wouldn't hurt anybody or anything or any animal. I'm kind of looking elsewhere. Because it's hard for me to look into a camera. I know once there's been a cleansing that this will be, heaven and earth are going to be joined as one, how it was in the olden days. And that's what I'm looking at, is the end result. Many of you are my friends. Many of you I have come to know since I set up Project Aquarius page. And listen, guys, I'm 63. Thank God my brain still works, but my body's gone to hell in a handbag. I didn't know how I was going to do this. But you know what? God has directed me every step of the way. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe that. Because not only was I able to get the book done, I put up the Facebook page, we're on Twitter, and we're on YouTube. There is some videos where you'll hear my voice, you won't see me. Those were, I spent about 40 hours just videotaping Eddie in our office, and the purpose was for information for the book, so I could get it to the writer. And I love those videos because, you know what, Eddie is very calm. You can see him getting emotional. It was just him and I talking. Yeah, my brother does get upset. And I'll tell you, I think if I was him or you were him, you'd be pretty upset too, knowing what's been done to our planet, to this world. We were never, ever meant to be of certitude to man, corporations, a government. Never. A good little sheep, and that's what we've been. Listen, I was one of those good little sheep. believe me, yeah, for many, many years, I was a sheep. I am not a sheep anymore. I will stand up and speak up for what is right, not just for me. It isn't about me, because you know what? I'm lucky if I've got a few more years left. It is about for mankind, for your kids, for my kids, for your grandkids. That's who I speak up for. Anyway, I will love you. I will leave you, and thank you. It really is a privilege for me, even though I'm scared, to be put in this role. And it is a heavy, heavy role. I asked you guys yesterday how many of you guys would put the page together. Because I did lay in bed the night before with tears rolling down my face, thinking about what I was about ready to do. Because I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt Christians. I don't want to hurt little old ladies. I don't want to change anybody's beliefs. And what I keep telling my brother is, you know what? It doesn't matter if they believe us. Our job is to get the message out there. That's all our job is. We'll do some more videos. Hopefully next time I look a little bit better, so you can accept me. And hopefully you guys will accept me for just who I am. I'm just me, and I happen to love you guys. God bless all of you, and thank you so much for supporting Eddie, supporting the other 32, and for supporting me. Because, you know what? We're all in this together, guys. God bless. Good night.